Hey Rudy, thank you for the game today. It was a lot of fun and you played great. You did a lot of excellent things and made very few mistakes. And bridge, of course, isn't about doing brilliant things. It's just about avoiding mistakes in the long run. So you did well. And I'm not going to go over a ton of good things we did, but we always want to strive to improve and learn. So I do have a few deals where I want to get you thinking about other actions maybe you could have taken, and then some other lessons from my decisions and also some of the opponent's decisions from today. So there wasn't a whole lot here. I'll go through a few hands quickly. Hopefully this isn't a very long video. This deal, you held this hand and I opened 2 no trump, kind of 2021. And I think with this particular hand, I've often talked about 3 no trump versus 4 of a major, especially at match points when if that extra 10 points can make a difference, of course, in the score. So there are 3 main criteria when you would want to choose 3 no trump over searching for a 4-4 major suit fit and playing in the 4-4 major suit fit. And those 3 criteria are your distribution. If you are flat 4-3-3-3, then it is very unlikely that you're going to get a ruff in your hand that will add a trick to the trick total. Because if partner has 4 cards in one of your 3 card suits, that card may be good by the end of it. It is possible, of course, if you have a 4-4 fit, partner may have a doubleton in one of your 3 card suits, and then that would result in an extra trick. But generally, 4-3-3, you would want to aim towards 3 no trump instead of 4 of a major. Extra strength. If you end up in the 29, 30, 31 high card point range between the 2 hands, you should strive to play no trump instead of looking for a 4-4 major fit, because it could be a kind of hand where you're just going to lose 2 tricks. You're going to lose maybe an ace and then a king finesse or something like that to develop the tricks. You may not need your 4-4 major fit to produce ruffs for extra tricks, and you may not need your 4-4 major suit to even get developed in no trump. You may have enough tricks outside that suit. And in addition, holding that much strength, you may not have a suit that is vulnerable to attack from the opponents and that they can set up and run in no trump. If you have that much strength, you're more likely to have more stoppers. So 4-3-3 shape, 3 no trump, extra strength, 3 no trump. And the last one is looking at the texture of your potential 4-4 major fit. If you have a major suit fit that's something like ace empty 4th opposite king empty 4th, for example, that is going to produce 2 tricks in no trump. And in spades, it's potentially going to produce 1 extra trick just in that suit, but there's always a danger that trumps break 4-1. And that would cost you a trick, whereas you may not need the spade suit in no trump. You may just need the ace king and you'll have 9 tricks elsewhere for 11. And in addition, if your spade suit is something like queen jack 4th opposite king 10 4th or something like that, you are going to have to develop the spade suit in either spades or no trump. So it's not really going to be an advantage to play in no trump in that situation. So 4-3-3, go towards 3 no trump. Extra strength, go towards 3 no trump. A spade suit that is empty in the middle, doesn't have texture, go towards 3 no trump. So you only actually had 1 of those 3 criteria with this hand. So I would have searched for a major suit fit with this particular hand that you held, because you don't really have extra strength. Like, we're probably around 27 points. That doubleton heart is dangerous if we have a 4-4 spade fit. And then there's even one tiny other nugget, is that we play puppet stamen. We could have a 5-4 spade fit, in which case spades almost certainly is going to play better than no trump. So I would have bid puppet stamen with this hand. And you can see from the double dummy results, I did have a 4. I was actually 4-4-1-4, and I could only take 10 tricks in no trump, and making 11 tricks in spades would have required careful play, but I think I would have been up to it. So we would have scored an extra trick in spades. But actually, 430 ended up scoring pretty well in no trump. I don't know why. I think people were only making 10 in spades. This next deal was interesting. I held the west hand, the hand with king, queen, jack, 10, 6 times in hearts. I opened a very normal 2 hearts. Don't worry about the 4 card side spade suit. That's fine. And you had a tricky decision with your hand. You had 18. I think you always won a bid game, but you asked with 2 no trump. I'm not sure what your plan was. We play August, so you could find out about my high card strength and the suit quality that I held. I think with your hand, if I had shown good hand and good suit, I think your hand might have been worth a shot at 3 no trump. Because again, this could be a deal where we just have a bunch of fast tricks. And if I have a good hand and a good suit, chances are I'm going to have either running hearts or heart suit like this, but with an entry outside, like a king outside. And in which case, 3 no trump rates to be a good chance of scoring the same number of tricks as hearts for that 10 extra tricks. I actually answered good suit and bad hand. I could have treated my hand as good, 7 points, whatever. I answered good suit, bad hand. So you just place the contract in 4 hearts, which was totally fine. The one tiny play aspect, I don't know if you guys can even see the deal here. Hopefully you can. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So the one aspect of the play is it looks like a very simple hand. My 3 minor suit tricks take care of my 3 minor suit cards, ace, king of clubs, ace of diamonds. The trump suit is solid, basically, right? And the only thing I have to worry about is the 3rd and 4th round of spades. If spades break 3-3, doesn't matter what I do, I'm always going to make 5 hearts and 3 spades is 8, and then ace, ace, king is 11 tricks. The danger is that if spades break 4-2 or even worse, I'm going to have to trump one of them in the dummy. And so I actually don't want to draw trump right away. This is one of those situations where you're always asking yourself, the first thing you should usually do in suit contracts is draw trump, but you've got to ask yourself, is there a reason I shouldn't draw trump? If I draw trump and they break 3-1, the opponents are going to be able to draw enough trump that I won't be able to ruff my 4th spade. So I went about trying to ruff my spade right away. And I was safe in doing that because dummy had the 9 of hearts. So I could always ruff a spade with the 9 of hearts, and I didn't care if they overruffed with the ace because that was a loser anyway. So tiny point of the timing of this, I won the opening club lead in the dummy. I took my discard. I didn't have to, but I took my discard right away. I could have just gone ace, king, and another spade. And then that would have been fine. I would have got to my hand with a heart ruff, a club ruff or a diamond ruff, trumped the last spade with the 9 of hearts and claimed. That was a tiny danger that spades could have been 5-1. And by doing that, they would have ruffed my king of spades. I didn't want that to happen. So I just extra caution. That tiny little extra chance, I played the ace of spades first, then I came to my hand by trumping a club and played a spade towards the dummy. If spades were 5-1 with south, north could ruff that spade, but then I just play low and my king is good later. I didn't want my king of spades to get ruffed. So that's a tiny little technical point or addition to that. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one was one I really want to point out where there was room for improvement, I guess. You held this hand and you didn't get a chance to open the bidding, I don't think. They opened on your left. Let's see, they opened 1 spade. I overcalled 2 diamonds. So it's gone 1 spade, 2 diamonds. No surprise, you have a weekend with hearts and people are bidding and they're bidding the suits you don't have. Your right-hand opponent bid 3 diamonds, limit raise or better in spades. You have nothing to say, so you passed. And your left-hand opponent bid 3 spades, not enough to bid game. So it's gone a spade, 2 diamonds from your partner, 3 diamonds, limit raise or better, pass, 3 spades on your left. Now your partner said double. So what is that double? Your partner, they've bid and raised spades. Your partner overcalled 2 diamonds and then said double. This is a takeout double, right? And your partner should have a pretty good hand to be doing this, forcing your side to the 4 level. So they don't have a hand that's like 18, 19 points because they would have started with double. But they probably have a good shapely hand to overcall the 2 level and then double, forcing you to the 4 level. And it went past to you and you had to pick up a bid with this hand. I think you have a clear 4 heart bid. It's just your partner's saying they have diamonds, clubs, and hearts, and they're forcing you to bid. You should be thrilled to bid 4 hearts. Your choice was, you didn't pass, which was good because they were going to make it. But your choice was a little bit odd on what you end up choosing. And it sort of swayed me the wrong way because you bid diamonds, and then it went 4 spades, and I bid 5 diamonds because I had a crazy 7-4 hand, and so I actually thought we were making 5 diamonds. and the opponents couldn't resist and bid 5 spades. I doubled them. I led the ace of hearts. I had 4 hearts, and I was shocked when the dummy only had a singleton. It just made no sense. Like, where were the hearts? Opener didn't have them. I didn't have them. Left-hand opponent had a singleton, and you didn't have them because you bid 4 diamonds over the takeout double. So there's the full deal. You guys can see that. So yeah, 4 hearts I think is a clear bid, and I would, we have to compete. We can actually make 6 hearts on this deal. So we were in 5 diamonds for a moment, but six hearts was the spot, and we ended up getting less than our game against 5 spades doubled. But it is a double game, so like they can make 4 spades and we can make 6 hearts. So very important on this one, high level bidding decisions. When your partner made a takeout, bid diamonds, make a takeout double of 3 spades, you have a clear 4 heart bid. And in fact, if North had bid 4 spades over the double, which they probably should have, I would bid 5 hearts with your hand. It's either going to be a sacrifice or a make, one of the two. So that was an interesting one. This was another slam decision, okay? And we've had a few of these the last few times you and Nina have played, or we've done online stuff. You opened this 1-no trump, 15 points, balanced distribution, perfect. I transferred to spades and then jumped to 4 spades. So that is a mild slam try with 6 spades. And it should be a balanced hand because I didn't splinter, but we hadn't discussed that. So I didn't want to throw that on you without discussion. Over 4 spades, you chose to go on because I think primarily because you had 4 spades, right? We have a 10 card fit, and you don't have a lot of wastage in spades, a lot of wasted points in spades. The most ideal holding you could have would be like 4 little spades and all your points elsewhere. Because then if all you need from partner is the ace, king 6 times in spades, and you're going to have no spade loser. So you don't want like king, queen, jack 4th of spades or ace, queen, jack of spades. Like that's wasted points that you're probably not going to need when partner has 6 of them. Now, the question is, what should you bid? This hand you judged was too strong to pass 4 spades. Totally fine. I think this hand is too weak to just drive to slam yourself. I think it's minimum in high cards. There's too many queens. I would like, king doubleton of diamonds, a little bit more body maybe in my other suits, and you only have 15 points. So you chose a bid that I think is not entirely correct. You bid 4-no trump Blackwood, and remember, we don't bid key card when we have 2 fast losers in a suit, because we could easily be off the ace king of diamonds and they could cash them. So if you were going to try with this hand, I would try with 5 clubs. It just says I have a club control and I'm interested. My hand would have bid 5 diamonds. You could have then tried 5 hearts, and if you did that, I would bid a slam because I held the ace king 6 times in spades, and if you are making slam tries without those top 2 trumps, you must be, you must have a really good hand outside. So we ended up getting lucky and making it. I held 3 little clubs in a singleton diamond and all the rest of the honors, and the club finesse was onside. So that was 50-50 slam lucky. But if my minors were reversed, 3 little diamonds and a singleton club, they would have just cashed the ace king of diamonds right off the bat, and you would have had no play. So just be aware of sort of Blackwood with 2 fast losers. This was our last deal of the day, and it was a funny one because it went 3 passes. This was your hand. You were in second chair, not vulnerable. I don't mind if you open this 1 club. I don't mind if you open it 3 clubs. I think you should open this hand though. 1 club would be my style, but a lot of people would open 3. Because you'll see what happened. You had a hard time catching up. It went 3 passes to me. I opened a spade, and then it went double, and you held this hand. I think over that you should just bid 2 clubs. You did ask if we wanted to, if we could ever play transfers over one of a major double, and yeah, we should play that. That's an excellent treatment, so that if you guys open one of a major and the next hand doubles, you should play transfers from 1-no trump up to 2 of your major. So 1-no trump shows clubs, 2 clubs shows diamonds, diamonds shows hearts. And if you bid 1 step under your major, then that shows like a constructive raise. So 1 spade double, 2 hearts is like 6, 7 to 9 points with spades, and 2 spades is spades but a weaker hand than that, like 0 to 5 or something like that. So that would have made this hand easy. You could have been 1 no trump showing clubs, but without transfers I would have just been 2 clubs with this hand. I think your hand is clubs. You want to compete in clubs. You don't want the opponents to go jumping around in diamonds. You said redouble to show your 10 points. I'm not crazy about that. I think redouble should be a more defensive hand as opposed to offense. And now it went 2 hearts on your left, pass to you. You had a choice between 2 spades and 3 clubs. You chose 2 spades, but the auction would have been much easier if you had just bid 2 clubs the first time. Your left-hand opponent maybe would have bid 2 diamonds or 2 hearts. I would have raised you to 3 clubs, and we would have had a nice comfy club fit, and you would have played in 3 clubs, and you would have probably made 4 for what a great, not a great score, but a fine score, as opposed to passing it out. I held 9 high card points and I opened the bidding. I could have passed it out, but that would have gotten us 1 out of 7 match points. I think I've got the whole hand here. Yeah, this was amusing. So I opened the West hand in 4th chair, which is a little bit silly, but obviously if my spades and hearts were reversed, I would not have opened. Now, the interesting thing was we belong in 3 clubs. The opponents had bid 2 hearts. We belong in 3 clubs. You put us back in 2 spades. The play was scary. I'm not going to lie, it was scary. I wanted to lead clubs towards the ace-king in case, number 1, there was a singleton queen out there. Number 2, in case North, who made a takeout double, happened to ruff, only had a singleton club and happened to ruff, which is pretty unlikely. But I didn't really know what to do. So they led a heart to the ace, South's ace, and returned a heart to my king. I had no idea what to do, so I started by playing a club towards the ace-king, and it went 10, and I felt pretty good about that. So I won the ace, and I was stuck on the dummy, and I felt like I couldn't just draw trumps because then they're going to cash diamonds, and I couldn't draw 2 rounds of trumps because then I would go play clubs and they would ruff the 3rd round of clubs and the dummy would be dead and I'd be stuck with a bunch of losing diamonds in my hand. So I played a diamond from the dummy, kind of threatening them with me roughing a diamond in the dummy. I wanted them to play trumps. So North won the 10 of diamonds and played the jack of spades, the jack of trump. I didn't want to win this either because the same situation, if I go ace king of spades or king ace of spades, they're going to rough the 3rd round of clubs and dummy's finished. So I ducked this and thinking, okay, if the guy's jack of spades wins, maybe he'll continue spades because his best defense now is to just play more diamonds, cash their diamond, make dummy rough with the king of spades. But he continued spades. So I won the king, roughed a heart to hand, cashed the ace of spades. Amazing. They were 3-3, very lucky. Played the jack of clubs to unblock, get the jack out of the way, and it went queen, so I claimed. I lost 1 heart, 1 diamond, and 1 spade. So I made 170, which obviously was massive, massive top. And so yeah, that was that was one more we had, and this was a hand you defended exceptionally well. I was very, very pleased with how you defended this hand, but I want to look at it from our opponent's point of view. I'll make it a little bit bigger here so we can see. The north-south pair, South opened 1 spade, and I, rightly or wrongly, overcalled 2 diamonds. I hate overcalling 2 of a minor with a 5-card suit vulnerable, but whatever. I could have overcalled a no trump, I suppose, and just taken a risk, like, if you transfer to hearts, whatever. I could have passed also, but I overcalled 2 diamonds, and North passed, you passed, and South had an interesting choice. Usually in these situations you say double when you're balancing with shortness, but here South balanced with 2 hearts. So he opened a spade, it went 2 diamonds, pass, and he bid 2 hearts. That's a very reasonable choice. You're 5-5 in the majors. So what do you think North should do? Or sorry, I then made a takeout double. I did this a lot, overcall and then double. It actually happened 3 times. So I said double of 2 hearts takeout because I just wanted to get our, sounds like all of a sudden they've got a heart fit, and I wanted to make sure if you were interested in how to fit in one of the minors, that we got involved at the 3 level. So over the double, North thought and thought and thought, and finally put her partner back in 2 spades with 2 spades and 3 hearts. And they played there, and I led the ace of clubs. You gave me a high club. Thank you for that. I switched to the queen of diamonds. He won the ace. You unblocked the king, which was a very, very important play because you know I've got 5 or 6 of them, and dummies are like the 6, 4, and the 2. It has to be right to unblock the king and get it out of the way. You can't be setting up dummies 6. You can't be setting up a declarer's card because they only have 1 or 2. And you know I'm not leading the queen from without the jack. So excellent unblock, because what that did was when I won my king of spades, I was able to play 2 more diamonds, forcing declare to ruff, and the hand fell apart. He tried cashing the ace king of hearts, I ruffed, more diamonds, and eventually you had trump control. And you cashed the queen jack of hearts, and like the declare ended up finishing 2 down for 200 our way. But go back to North, their decision. 1 spade, 2 diamonds, pass, 2 hearts, double. What should North do? They're 2-3 in the majors. Usually, if it goes 1 spade and you bid 1 no trump and your partner bids 2 hearts, you tend to put your partner back in 2 spades with 2 spades and 3 hearts. This situation's not the same though. Their partner balanced with 2 hearts. They didn't balance with a takeout double, which they would have if they were 5-4 in the majors. Your partner almost certainly is at least 5-5 in the majors. And I think you should pass 2 hearts as North, and you would play at a better part score. The other reason you should pass 2 hearts as North is your hand is terrible and you don't want to give your partner another chance to bid, right? So that was it. I would have passed with the North hand, and she was asking us after the deal, and I pointed out that this is a different situation than if your partner opens and you bid 1 no trump and they bid 2 hearts. That could be 5-4. When it goes 1 spade, 2 bananas, pass, 2 hearts, that really is 5-5 or more. That you shouldn't be balancing 2 hearts on a 4-card suit. You would balance with double. And she sort of, the light went off and said, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. All right, so that was it. That was sort of a mini gift, I guess. So that was the final score. If you guys could see that, I'll get out of the way. So we had 66.6. That's, I guess, 2/3, right? 2/3 of the match points for us. So for a pretty clear first place, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope, number 1, you have fun, and number 2, you learn every time you play and try to improve. And because bridge gets even more fun. I mean, bridge is enjoyable at any level, but it gets even more fun. Sort of the more practice and experience you get, and then you get to have games like this, which was a lot of fun. All right. So thanks again, Rudy, and we'll play again soon. Take care.